Recently, a friend and viewer asked a really good question. I did answer it in the comments, but I thought it would be a good idea to also put it in a little quick video because maybe some other people have questions about zero waste as well. So let's make this a new series. Anytime you have a zero waste question, feel free to drop it in the comments of any of my videos, or to email me, or to put it on the community tab would also be really cool, and I will try to answer them in a short video. Our friend said that they eat a lot of tofu and we're wondering if there was a more sustainable tofu option or if we had any suggestions for what to do with the packaging. So I think my first suggestion is to check the Asian markets in your area. A lot of cities, smaller cities and larger cities have Asian markets, but you can find them just about in any place. You might have to go a little further. And a lot of Asian markets make their own tofu. So they'll have tofu that they've prepared, and sometimes it's in the tofu section floating in a Cambro in liquid, and you use tongs and you just take it out. In that instance, a lot of times you can bring your own container and they'll either weigh it for you out of the container or they'll sell it by the block. Sometimes the tofu that Asian markets make are not in the tofu section, but they're in their like back kind of like deli section where the meats and stuff are. So you can also ask if you don't see it right away, weigh it on like a piece of wax paper, and then that way you can just put it in your own container and you're not wasting any plastic. So that's my first suggestion, is to check that out, see if there are any Asian markets in your area that you could utilize for this. My second piece of advice, and what I do right now while I'm trying to find some fresh tofu in my area, is I buy the tofu that is the like extra firm, and usually that tofu doesn't come with as much liquid as your normal tofu. It comes in an all plastic film packaging. Obviously, we don't like plastic film, we don't like plastic bags, we would rather have it fresh if we can get it, but if we can't, I know that I can wash this out and recycle it with my plastic film recycling. I also really like the super firm tofu. That's my favorite kind of tofu. I think it cooks up nice and crispy, but it can also be crumbled down. I don't usually do anything where I need silken tofu. Silken tofu is harder to get in a container like this. I will eat my tofu and I will wash out the plastic film and I will put it in my plastic film recycling. The reason that I use plastic film recycling over regular recycling like you would do with a normal pack is because regular recycling for plastic is unreliable. You're never sure if that's actually getting recycled. Almost none of the plastic recycling these days is getting recycled in the US. It is shipped to third world countries, and a lot of times they're so inundated with our plastic waste that they end up just putting it in landfill or shipping it back to us to put in landfill. So not only are you wasting the resource of the plastic going to the landfill, but you're wasting the resource of shipping it somewhere else that is not going to take it. I would always say to recycle over not recycle. The system might be broken, but hopefully we can fix it one day. So I wouldn't want to give up on a great public system like recycling. If I were to buy a tofu like this in the plastic tub, I would take off the plastic film, I would wash it, and I would recycle that in the plastic film, and then I would recycle the bottom tub just in regular recycling. These could also be reused. They are fine for storage. You could even keep some compost in here before dumping it into your compost. You could also reuse these as planters or other little things. They're not going to last forever, obviously, because they're designed to be disposable, but if you can get another use or two out of them and then send them to recycling, they've had a longer life, which is nice. This tofu I bought a while ago and it was about to go bad and I froze it. Freezing tofu is a great option, so if you do find fresh tofu by you, or you do find an Asian market that sells loose tofu, even if it's a little bit further away, you could always buy a lot and then freeze it. A lot of recipes call for frozen tofu. This is not tofu, this is mushroom gravy, but there are tofu that come in packs that look like this. This is a Tetra pack. So this is a plastic lined multiple layer pack, and these are not recyclable. So when you see anything, non-dairy milks or mushroom gravy or tofu or anything that's packaged in these containers can never be recycled. You could reuse them. I know people who use them, again, to keep their compost in. They get a couple more lives out of them before they end up throwing them in the landfill, but these are always going to go to landfill. So if you see tofu in these packages, that's something that I would avoid. Do you eat a lot of tofu in your household? If you do, how do you feel about the plastic packaging that comes with it? Are there ways that you're reducing that plastic packaging? Do you make your own tofu? I've never made my own tofu, and I hear it's really easy, but it seems like one of those weird, scary things. So if you make your own tofu, or if you have some other tips or tricks for how to cut down on the packaging, let us know in the comments below. And if you have a question about zero waste that I can try to answer, feel free to contact me and I'll try to make you a video. Thanks so much. Bye.